Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. I'm just gonna wait here. Make sure that everything is working. I'm sorry, it's been a crazy day. I have been in the process of improving the channel, and with that has been some hiccups. So thank you guys so much for bearing with me this afternoon. I have had this stream ready for you for a few minutes, so let's get started. Welcome to my channel. I have been testing different products this week to try to make sure that everything that I'm delivering with you is working. I tried StreamYard, and right now what I'm doing is trying Streamlabs, which is it's comparable to the streaming service that I was using before, and I just wanted to double check to see how this product works. So thank you so much for being here. Okay, so the season of Sister Wives actually ended on Sunday. And so can you believe it? After 15 weeks, we are done. And the season kind of ended with a massive thud. I don't know that a lot of people were anticipating that the season would end with really nothing tied together. And it was a little bit odd because it appeared at one point 16 episodes were supposed to air for the season. So I don't know if the 16th episode was supposed to include the tell-all, but I can tell you with certainty there will be no tell-all for this season at all, sadly. So we're not going to get a lot of clarification about everything that's sort of been going on. All the loose ends will not get tied up. And unfortunately, you will not find out, whatever happened with the house, what happened with Robin, what happened with, the birth, why wasn't Matt, why weren't Robin and Mary there? There's a lot of stuff that I feel like we just never really finished talking about. And sadly, we're not going to know, because with everything that's going on with the world right now, there's no production of any reality shows. This actually has me thinking in so many different things right now. So right now, production is halted for literally the entire world in terms of any sort of non-essential programming. So the news is continuing on as normal, right? But shows like The Daily Show and the nightly talk shows, those are all doing very limited taping. And some of them, like Andy Cohen is doing Watch What Happens Live from his house. Saturday Night Live last weekend did Saturday Night Live from home. So with nothing being taped right now, it's not going to affect what we see on TV right now, but it is going to impact what we see coming forward in the future. And so what we're going to be talking about today is what's happening with Sister Wives. So I want to kind of get to you, sort of paint to you sort of a picture of what we were looking at. So this is what Cody said at the end when the season ended. He said, I am trying to grab. Sorry, I'm trying to grab the wrong thing and increase it. Why is this not working? So he said, "Thanks everyone. Happy Easter. We are also observing Easter. We hope to see you soon or see us soon. Peace." So he's kind of left it open about whether or not the show is going to return. Here's the thing with TLC. Before this season, there had been a lot of rumblings that this was going to be the last season. And I can tell you a couple reasons why. Ever since season 11, the ratings for the show have not been doing very well. Sister Wives in the beginning was a mainstay. It was a ratings powerhouse for the network. And with the way things had gone, people were getting sick of the redundant storylines. There wasn't a lot of drama. People were tired of how some storylines kept getting drawn out from episode to episode to episode. And so there was talk that going into this season, this could be the last. And they moved the show to 9 o'clock and on a Sunday. And that's a huge thing. Like when you put a show at 9 o'clock and you move that to 9 o'clock on a Sunday, that can be like make or break. And a lot of people were assuming that moving it to 9 o'clock was actually going to be the death of Sister Wives, because who's up still at 9 o'clock? Are people going to want to watch? Why would people want to watch? And so basically what we have here, I'm trying to make this bigger for you guys. I don't know why I can't get this one to move. There we go. So here were the ratings. Okay. So the show ended actually with pretty decent ratings. The season finale, which aired on the 12th, ended with a 0.49 rating, which is pretty awesome. If you want to compare that to current like Teen Mom OG, which is another show that we talk about on this channel, that finished with a 0.35 this past week. Now, conversely, if you look at 90 Day Fiance, that finished the night with a 1.07 with 3.4 million people watching. That's huge for a Sunday night, and that's huge for a cable show. So 90 Day Fiance, before the 90 days, this season is a really good season. Like everyone is tuning in. And what they were maybe thinking was by putting Sister Wives after 90 Day Fiance, maybe some of those 90 Day Fiance people would tune in and stay to watch Sister Wives. Well, it worked because this last episode had 2,381,000 people watching it. I just want to show you the season finale from a year ago. You can actually see that the ratings they finished at 8. They finished at 8, and their series finale was 1.473, and they finished with a 0.35. So in the past year, they went from a 0.35 and 1.4 million to this season's finale at 0.49 and 2.3 million people tuning in. So did bumping them to 9 o'clock on a Sunday night work? Yes, they got way better ratings. And with the ratings being this high, with them finishing consistently in the top 5 to top 10 every single week, it's hard to imagine TLC actually cutting the cord with Sister Wives at this point in time, considering the over 1 million people, almost 1 million people now are turning back in. Pretty crazy, huh? So the move to Sunday night at 9 o'clock appears to work because it's following it's like sort of being anchored by a humongous show before the 90 days. How Sister Wives would actually perform without an anchor, I don't know. I have no idea. But this season definitely did bring some drama. We saw for the first time there was some, cracks in the marriage with Robin. There was some drama related to building with Mary. I feel like the therapy session with Mary and Kody was added by Kody for a drama factor. Now, a couple years ago, I should note that TLC actually was going to cancel the show. And in 2011, before they were going to cancel the show, the Sister Wives were all making around $180,000 per season, right? So every single one of them was making $180,000. In order to stay on the air, Kody took a massive pay cut in 2011. And not in 2011, season 11. Season 11, sorry, not 2011, season 11. We were in season 14, so 3 seasons ago. He took a massive pay cut. So instead of having $180,000 per Sister Wife and per Kody, he took a family fee of $180,000 per season. So he cut it. He got rid of, he had 80% of his revenue. He cut 80% of his income in order to stay on air. So at this point, it's a bargain. It's a bargain for the network to keep the show on air. They are paying this family next to nothing for the amount of ratings that this show is currently bringing into them. Now, will the family have more drama going into next season? Or are we just getting bored with the family? I mean, just because it had good ratings, did the storyline resonate with people? I can say that for a lot of people this year were just irritated to all hell. They did not like the season. They thought that the storylines were boring, but it didn't stop people from tuning in. There's also been a lot of questions around, is the family manufacturing drama? So when Kody took that massive pay cut, when he cut his revenue to his family by 80%, he promised to deliver drama. And by doing so, are some of these fights he's having with Robin, is this drama manufactured for TV? What about the fight between Mary and Robin? Was that drama manufactured for TLC? It's really hard at this point. He insists that they're not scripted. Janelle was on Twitter during the season when someone was like, you guys are so scripted. Janelle was all like, no, we're not. We're not scripted. It's totally fine, you guys. We do not script. Nothing happens. We don't script anything. It's all organic, which I highly doubt. I mean, some of the stuff can be, authentic, but I highly doubt a lot of it was, especially when they're setting up things for the family, right? So we have two shows that we've been talking about lately. We have Counting On, which has dismal ratings, like dismal. And then you have Sister Wives. And then there's this whole other question. Once families become this famous and once families become this well-known, think of it in this way. Teen Mom OG, all these reality shows which follow families. We know ahead of time what's going on because of social media. So how effective are these reality show programs when everyone that's on these shows is using their social media as a means to make money, and they're also posting everything on social media, so you know before stuff airs what happened? Think the Amber Portwood storyline on MTV. They had to twist it and change it in order to make it interesting for you to tune in, because in reality, we all know what happened because her plea deal was back in October. We know how she acted out on Instagram Lives back in September. We know why she can't speak online. Same thing with like Sister Wives. So if we know that like Maddie, we knew about her baby before she was born because Maddie posted photos online. Maddie had a story run in People magazine last fall where she talked about Evie's fat co-syndrome. So we all knew that Evie was born. We all knew that Evie was born healthy. And it didn't matter that, It didn't matter that on the show you see an ambulance coming, because you know at the end of the day, everything worked out completely fine. Because on People magazine from the fall, Maddie is telling everyone, yeah, she's totally healthy. There's nothing else wrong except for having these limb differences. So in a world where social media, YouTube accounts, and look at what the Duggars are doing. The Duggars are putting everything out on social media now. I mean, Jessa, Ginger, all of them have YouTube accounts. Now, the Browns are not as the Browns don't really do that. Like Christine is a little bit more engaged. Mary has like a Facebook page where she sells her LuLaRoe products. So does Christine, but they don't have like a YouTube page that they like, or YouTube channel where they like upload information to. They don't tweet very frequently. In fact, Kody doesn't do anything on social media unless it's during the show. So the Browns have been able to stay off of social media, and the older kids aren't really on the show anymore. So I think if you notice this past season, we didn't see a lot of the kids, period. It was weird, right? The whole season, it was all of the adults basically fighting, and you had a couple shots of kids littered in here and there. So it's not really about the family so much anymore as it's about these like complex relationships they have with with each other. I don't know, you guys. Do I think that Sister Wives will be back? Probably. But here's the thing. There's not going to be a tell-all, okay? So we're not going to have anything completely at all wrapped up. Also, productions are completely shut down right now. So if anything had been filming it's not filming now, which means that there could be a large gap in the time between what was last filmed and what was filmed now, and once everything opens back up. So that could impact the decision of the network to decide if they're going to continue on. Some people are even speculating that the shutdown of production right now could negatively affect Counting On, because maybe instead of continuing with the season, they wrap it up with a special. I don't know. Next season we will continue. Do they actually have any kind of relationships? I don't really think that they have many relationships outside of the show, to be frank. Mary spends I was in Mary's Facebook group yesterday. She was doing a live sale, and she spends most of her time at home by herself, and she sells her products and she's doing her work. And my thought is, like, maybe they just keep Mary around because Mary has like a lucrative business right now and she can bring in a lot of money to the family, and they're not making a lot of money per episode or per season right now. Yeah, and there is no tell-all this season. There's also unlikely to be a tell-all with Teen Mom OG. And if they do the tell-all for Teen Mom OG, it's going to be via like Zoom or Skype. I mean, boring. Boring. So, will it finally be canceled? I doubt it. Will the show be back? I have no idea when, though. That's the problem. This coming fall, it could get really boring on TV. It could be really boring with no new programming coming out. So we'll have to see. I think what you can do is, if you want to continue to follow these people, make sure you follow them on social media. I will continue to bring you some news, and I have more coming up about Sister Wives for today. I should make the tell-all. You're hilarious. I should make the tell-all. That's funny. So yeah, I'm not going to make the tell-all. The only interesting thing was the house that doesn't even seem like it's going to get built. Yeah, I agree, Jazz. All right, so thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you guys so much for bearing with me. I am grateful that you guys stuck it out with me. I'm sorry that it took so long to get everything set up, but with this new format, I also want to let you know that you can do super chat options, or there is a Streamlabs option for donations, and Jesse has been sharing that link, which has more, it's just an option to donate and support the channel without going through YouTube. And basically what it does is it takes less revenue from me, because a super chat, I only get 70% of. Memberships, I only get 70% of. But if you do the Streamlabs donation, I get more money that way. So that's just another way that you can think about helping this channel out. All right, you guys, obviously all donations are completely up to you. I never force any of you to do that, and it's always appreciated, and it helps me continue to be able to deliver products for you. As I continue to learn Streamlabs, I promise I'll get better, but thank you for bearing with me. I'll be back in a little while with